Now, the Penguins, they're not going to be able to get away with that way of playing against most teams, against a young team that has so many players that are trying to prove themselves in the NHL. You know, the Penguins had to, I think, pick the right night to have their attention to detail, Bob, and their focus not be there for 60 minutes.
Yeah, I agree, and they better get it back because they're going to Columbus tomorrow, and the Blue Jackets may not be what they once were, but they can be a scrappy unit as well. They have 7
They beat the Flyers tonight, Bob. I bet that on the FanDuel Sportsbook. I bet against those Flyers. That's always a very winnable proposition to go against them. So Columbus will also be in a back-to-back situation, Bob.
Yeah, the Flyers are really struggling right now. Did you see the other day, by the way, they lost a 9-round shootout to the Islanders. And so far this season, Andrew, they have had 4 shootouts, and they haven't scored a goal yet. They're 0 for 16 in shootouts.
Wow.
Which is typical of the Flyers.
You're just a fountain of great information on stuff like that, and really it's because people don't know this about you. You watch everything. Your appetite for sports is insatiable. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet. You gorge. You're almost a sports. I don't want to use a derogatory term here, Bob, but it's amazing how much sports you're able to consume. It really is.
By the way, did you see the Phoenix Suns
tonight? Whether it's late night NBA,
they were down
tonight. I knew
tonight.
you were going to say
Luka
that.
Doncic had them down, and they couldn't do anything. And Phoenix knows how to finish, and they came away with a big win. Devin Booker and that Chris Paul team, man, they got Bridges and Crowder. They got a lot of good, even without Ayton.
Now, why don't you
good.
tell the audience here, everybody watching and then listening on 93.7 The Fan, what you said? You leaned over your great producer Steve at the Penguins game. I was sitting next to him. And you leaned over and you said something about Tristan Jarry tonight, and Steve and I were like, whoa, that was an incredible take. Why don't you tell people what you said about the Penguins goaltender?
It's just what I think about how people have rushed to judgment. I think about Tristan Jarry, and I understood why the Penguins wanted to stick by him because last year was really his first taste of a postseason. He was coming off an injury. He wasn't very good by his own admission, and they lost. I believe they can contend for a Stanley Cup, and he would be a big reason why. And this start has made me think that so far so good. I realize it's going to come down to what he does in the postseason. I get it. But he's a young kid. He has to go through it a little bit. If you remember Marc-Andre Fleury's first visit into the postseason, wasn't all that good. You might remember Tom Barrasso way back in the day, although he was a Rookie of the Year. He had some issues in the postseason. It takes time, I think, for any young goaltender.
But he's making a believer out of you is the point. You're starting to come along to the idea that Jarry could actually be the #1 goaltender for a team that contends for a Stanley Cup.
Sure. You don't agree with that?
I'm not there yet. I'm not there. You know, I see this. We talk, you know, we do this with quarterbacks in the NFL. Kirk Cousins or Derek Carr can win games in October. Do they win games in January? Not really. So that's still where I am with Jarry, Bob. I want to see if he's a postseason performer or not.
He's young enough where I'm willing to wait and see him develop, and they better hope he does because, you know, they don't have a whole bunch in their system after Matt Murray's with the other team. I get that. He got a nice welcome, but Filip Gustafsson came in and played okay. I thought, you know, he made some key saves. Crosby was robbed a couple of times, so we'll see what happens. We got to take a break, though, Andrew. We have more on the way. We want your calls. Again, this is a simulcast right here on Pittsburgh CW and 93.7 The Fan. 412-575-2600. Let's hear from you next, right here live on Pittsburgh CW.